All right, guys. Good evening on the East Coast. Good afternoon on the West Coast. I'm your host, Brandon Troy, host and co-creator of Movers and Shakers Unlimited. And as you well know, we are right in the crux of Spooky Movie International Horror Film Festival, and in celebration of that, I wanted to, take this opportunity for this next couple of days to speak with many of the folks behind many of these, impressive selections. So, if you give me a moment, I will introduce our guest for today. Hold on. All right. So without further ado, I want to bring on one of the stars of the selection 12-hour shift. Give me 1 second while I bring them on. Nikea Gamby-Turner, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. I'm good.
Good,
I'm good.
good.
Thank you so much, Nakia, for hopping on and being a part of the show tonight, this afternoon, what have you, to talk about the selection. So, uh, as I said, you're here to talk about your experience in doing this film, a 12-hour shift. Can you speak to that and how you got involved with this project?
I'm an actor, obviously. Well, not obviously, but I'm an actor, and I've actually gotten to my acting career pretty late in life. Had a lot of life stuff happen to me in my 30s. So and I've worked a lot, but this is my first lead in a film. So it's very near and dear to my heart. And also, when my agent sent me the script, maybe 20, 30 minutes, and was like, I hope I get this. So I ended up having to do a self tape, which is already kind of hard in itself because there's no real, you don't get any feedback. You're just kind of like doing what you think you should do as an actor. And I ended up booking it off that tape. So that was pretty amazing.
Awesome, awesome stuff. Now, with this film, I feel like it marries a lot of various genres, and it does it in an impressive way that you don't typically see, where you have a lot of macabre stuff happening, so to speak,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
there's a very dark humor, sensibility to it. So can you speak to that and having that character, your character, be a large part of that levity that's brought to this story?
Well, I'm very grateful because number one, as a black female actress, as a black actress, you don't get to find these kind of roles like this, that you really get to just be a person and not a parody of yourself, or just kind of like what life has to bring. You're offering whatever you have to offer. So it's not necessarily looked at as necessarily black and white, but even though I am a black woman in this role, um it gives a lot of room to like just, yeah, be human. And that's what I really loved, really loved about it. Karen is the ringleader of this thing. She's in charge. She's so cool, level-headed, and that's how the character was written. And yes, it said there's a black female, but you don't get to find this kind of levity, I think, in a character a lot, especially in horror films, because usually the first to die. Sorry. So it does marry a lot of stuff, but also it's just fun.
No, I was saying no. I absolutely agree. I get you. But
Yeah,
yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
So usually are like dying like the first 5 minutes, or you have the like little kooky like the one the one liners and all that kind of stuff. But this is very different, even though it does like have all of the genre of every single movie you could possibly think of that was probably horror. We added a little something in there just to make it that much fun and crazy, I think. And that's what how Bria did such a great job, because you automatically, it was very funny at first. And I consider myself a comedic actress, so that I like to put my teeth in stuff like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in terms of putting this character together, I understand that you do have some background with improv with Elite Delta
Yes.
Force. Um, so in bringing what you have from that toolbox of being involved with that group, can you speak to using those elements for this role, and also if it also involved perhaps going to a lot of hospitals and shadowing some nurses and some of the shifts that they were having.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Um, Being in Elite Delta Force 3 was an amazing experience because it was something that, we all did together. It was 7 Black women who got together and did this thing that, it has evolved into now. There's, thankfully there's Black Lady Sketch on HBO, you know what I mean? So we were all kind of in this thing together that we had no idea was going to be such a success. We were just giving it a shot, and it ended up being a great success. We won a lot of awards. We were, went viral a couple of times. Maybe not the viral we wanted, but we went viral. uh,
Yeah,
with a really funny sketch that I thought was hilarious, but I guess people don't like people making fun of their heroes or something. I don't know, like their heroes didn't have a sense of humor, but that's a whole nother situation. Anyway, but that experience, and also I dabbled in stand up a little bit. What once was a dare ended up being something I did for a very long while, and I really enjoyed that too. So I love comedy. I like to make people laugh. I love being an actor. So when you get to combine all of those things, it's a great thing. And just even like doing sketch comedy, when our friend got us together to do this sketch group. Again, we had no idea what it was going to be, but it just kind of woke us all up in our careers, and we all are like doing really great things now. So I'm really grateful that it did help me with being this type of actor that I want to be.
awesome. And I was going to say the second part of that, in terms of getting sinking your teeth into this character, did it also involve that capacity of what the job was, or what that character did for a living, in terms of perhaps going to hospitals or going to other
All
places
right.
to get a
Sorry. Yes.
feel for it?
Um, I have a lot of family who are nurses, and I'm a cancer survivor of 16 years,
Right.
so I've been
Congrats.
in and
Yeah.
out of
Awesome
hospital.
stuff. Yes.
Thank you. I've been in and out of hospitals. I had 5 surgeries in 3 years because of, I had double mastectomy. So I got to see the way nurses work. My mother also had cancer. My mother was hit by a car. It's a lot. Life stuff, right? I'm saying.
Yes.
But to come out of that and also watch these women work and see how they work and know the ones that you're not really going to mess with, or you don't actually want them messing with your family member, and
Sure.
or the ones that are like really really great, and you're like, why aren't you paid more, why don't people love you more? It's all of those things. So I think you could take a nurse, it's anybody USA, but a nurse's specialty is taking care of everything in the hospital. There's hardly ever any doctors. If you notice, there's hardly ever any doctors in the in hospitals, because they only get called for emergencies or when they're, doing their rounds for their patients, but mostly it's the nurses. So you get
Sure.
to watch, and then as a patient, you're up all night because you can't sleep during the day because they're always coming in and testing you. Like little stuff like that. To remember
Yeah.
about being a nurse is what you put into your character, I think.
Awesome, awesome. And could you also speak to you guys? I would say just the ensemble that you have with this film is quite impressive. So, uh, can you speak to that as well, and being able to play off of some great scene partners. I mean, outside of what you are bringing to the table with your comedic timing, but also
Yeah.
having
And thank you.
great folks that can react off of it as well.
Well, I mean, I wasn't familiar with all the players until I kind of got to set, and then I realized I was really good friends with Tommy Hobson, who is our. Have you seen the film?
I have, yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, you did. I don't know what I'm thinking. Uh, um, he's the one that was the paramedic. So Tommy and I have known
Gotcha.
each other from way, and then turns out this circle of friends. you might have met, or now we're all really good friends. But also they're all writers and performers in their own right, and they, in comedy and sketch and all of that kind of stuff. So it was just kind of a recipe for great fun, I think, and great funny. Tom DeTrenis, say that 5 times fast.
Yeah.
Tom DeTrenis, who played Mr. Kent, is beyond hilarious. Brooke is super hilarious. Tara is hilarious, and some days it was kind of hard to get through a scene because I was laughing so hard at Tom. But also, he's so quick on his feet. So when we did get to improv, it was really fun and funny. And that's the great thing about Bria too. She's actors director, so she allows us to have a little fun with, you know, she'll get her takes, and then at the end she'll be like, "No, you guys just play with it and see what you come
Put
up
your
with."
rip on it.
Yeah, and some stuff was used, and some I can't really remember what was used and what wasn't because it feels like, still a blur. But it was a great time, and when you have actors that give like that, how can you go wrong?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, just as you were saying, I had a chance to see the film. Like, I had a great time, watching it and
Thank
seeing
you.
like all the hijinks that ensues and how it just builds and builds and builds.
It's
Um,
crazy, right?
Crazy,
Crazy.
crazy.
And you can't
Uh,
imagine that people would be this crazy.
Yeah, but with that being said, before I let you go, Nikea, can
Mhm.
you tell folks what's up next? I mean, obviously, this film, as I said, is showing at Spooky Movie International Horror Film Festival. As a matter of fact, it will be showing on Sunday in a few days.
Mhm.
But with that being said, first, what's up next, for you in terms of what we're dealing with now and in terms of the entertainment industry? I'm just curious.
Yeah, well, COVID really locked stuff down, for sure. So I just I just started auditioning again, probably um mm, I want to say early last month, and not to say that there weren't auditions happening. But now they're really starting to come in, which is great. And I actually just booked a job that I'm shooting on Thursday for the NBC show Unicorn, and I have to pass all my
Nice.
COVID tests. So pray for me that I pass all my tests. I should. I've
Yes.
been
Yeah, that's
quarantined like a
awesome.
crazy
So
person.
congratulations.
Thank you. But it's nice to get back to work, even though it's, kind of weird. And we have to have, like, even right now, I have my lovely ring light because we have to do stuff on our own now a lot because you can't go into in person auditions. So, you have to
Sure.
kind of have a setup, so that you can record yourself and do your auditions. So I,
Is it? I was going to say, is it the same way with the stand up as well? Because I know with a lot of stand up, there's trying to go virtual in a lot of ways, or no?
I can't say it's the same because I don't do stand up virtually, but I do know people who have had successful virtual virtual shows, like even readings, readings for plays, readings for films. Like, people are still yearning for entertainment, so they'll get it however they can. And because you have to laugh. This is just such a weird. Okay, let's just be honest, this is stupid that we're going through this in the first place. It's just stupid, but unfortunately, there's really nothing that we could do about it. So we just have to kind of adjust and try to
And pivot.
adapt. And thankfully, we're adaptable people, but
Yeah.
this is dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I got you. I get you. Um, so again, with that being said, as I said, the film shows on Sunday. But before I let you go, also, can you tell folks where they can find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram. I'm at okay, I'm here. And that's OKAY, the letter M, here. I'm also on Facebook, Nikea T Gamby Turner, or Nikea Gamby Turner. Um, you can, mm, gosh, you can see this film. You can watch old episodes of Rosewood. I don't know. You can catch me anywhere. You can catch me outside. No, I'm just kidding. You catch me rolling. They hating. I don't know.
Um,
You would just catch me. Just holler at your girl. I don't- Don't
hey,
be weird. Don't be DMing me.
I ain't mad at you.
You
So there you
can.
guys have it. As I said again, 12-hour shift was such a great time. You can catch it
Thank
at
you.
on Sunday. As I said, on Spooky Movie International Horror Film Festival. It's not happening in person, but it is happening virtually. So be sure to check it out. I'm your host Brandon Choi, host and co-creator of
Oh,
Movies.
also, you can get it
Yeah.
on Amazon Prime. Don't get it. You can also get it on Amazon Prime.
All right. All right. That as well. That as well. But yes, you can, for our show, you can watch us on Facebook, which you are watching now, obviously. However, you can also find us on Twitter at Move and Shake UNLTD, or on Instagram at Movers Shakers Unlimited. Find me, of course, Brandon Troy ENT on Twitter and Brandon Troy _ENT on Instagram. Thanks again for watching. Be safe out there. And Nikea, thank you so much. See you
Thank you
guys.
for having me.
All
This was
right.
so much fun.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thanks.